put the spotlight on your city. I put the spotlight on your city. See the superstars. Hollywood to Hollywood. Girl, you look good. Yeah, they hollering, baby. Keep modeling, baby. ATLD. I put the spotlight on your city. Carolina, Philly. I put the spotlight on your city.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Spotlight Over the City. I'm your host, Stan Long, along with the one and only Terry T-Bomb Long. And we got our guest host, the one and only at Be More News, the mayor, the governor, and everything else of Baltimore himself. Give it up one time for Mr. Doni Glover in the building.
Yes.
Man, we got a lit show for you guys today. I'm excited to have this gentleman on board with us. We also have another extraordinary actor. He is doing some amazing things. He's actually in a play with Snoop and some others, so we're going to bring him up at one point. Hold on, I'm looking short as hell. Hold on.
Get it together, honey. Get it together.
All right, yeah, y'all can't just have me. Yeah, now we talk. Now I'm in the building. So shout out to all my listeners, WLVS in the building, Listen Vision family. We appreciate you guys. Hall Mills Network in Jersey. Check us out on the network out there in Jersey.
That's right.
Everybody that's supporting that Hall Mills Network, we support you guys. We appreciate you guys. New Jersey, Philly, New York, Atlanta, North Carolina in the building. We appreciate you guys for tuning in. And welcome aboard Jeannie Jones, kitty of the city herself. In LA, we got to check in with her. We got some.
Yeah, she got some juicy
got
tea,
the
y'all,
juice.
from the West Coast.
As a matter of fact,
I'm just
he's
like,
saying something about Jamie Foxx. We giving out rings or something?
I don't know. We gonna have to find out. Is he giving out rings or
on
something?
GP? What's really going on, Jamie?
We got to find out, and then you got to find out about this Forbes list. What is your favorite black actress, and did she make the list?
And did she make the list? And how many black actors or actresses have we had to make Forbes?
I haven't made it yet, but I'm determined.
No, you haven't. But what's going on with your outfit, though? Because you looking different.
Hey, well, you know, I
Afro.
Hubby and I don't really celebrate Halloween, but I do like to have a little fun. So, you know, this is my T-Bomb look for tonight in honor of fun Halloween stuff. What y'all think?
So I see you got it together. You looking real cute over there. We love it. So before we go any further, shout out to our sponsors, Horse and Dickies, some of the best fish and shrimp in the business. If you're in the DMV area, make sure you shoot out there to Allentown Road.
Y'all gotta go over there,
and tell them that Horse and Dickies. Tell them Spotlight Over the City sent you, and you'll get 10% off your next order. Make sure you do that because it's a black business that's been in our community for over 20 years, and they are amazing. They also had one on 12th Street and 4th Street, but this particular one is the one that we are sponsored by. So I just wanted to say that. Shout out to them once again. Make sure you get over there to Allentown Road, right down the street from Fast Eddie's, and also Andrews Air Force Base, in case you haven't been to Fast Eddie's. Mm-hmm. So shout out to them over there doing a great job. The fish is amazing. You get 10% off if you just go mention Spotlight. They'll hit that button, and they'll go like, bing, something like that, and then bam, 10% off, just like that. 10% off. You don't have to jump. You don't have to do no flips.
I want you to give me some fish tomorrow then, honey.
Okay, 10% off. I get you fish every day. We get fish and shrimp and hush puppies.
Yes.
And what else? They got it all. It's popping. And also, Leverett Financial Services. Do not forget, you have to have your finances in order. And this company has living benefits. This company gives you 10% on a rollover, which means if you roll over $100,000 from another company, you get $10,000 automatically right out the door. Right out the break. I mean, no penalties, no nothing. You can abstract money. You can take money from your insurance policy without passing away and don't be penalized for it. So it's a beautiful thing. LeverettFinancialServices.com. Make sure you go over there and check them out. And all the information is on the website. Lilia Leverett is the young lady that you want to get in contact with, and it's all there. And I tell you, it's amazing because we all have policies with her.
Yep.
And when I tell you we secure in it, it's a beautiful thing to know that you're insured and you have a good policy and things are going to work out for you and your family.
That's
so
right,
make sure that you do that before you buy another pair of $500 Gucci tennis shoes. Make sure you have a good financial situation for your family. And it's not that expensive, so go check it out on the website. So without further ado,
what we got?
Yellow Beezy. And that's on me, baby.
I know that song. Got my designers on.
Got my Black Wall Street on me.
Yeah,
and that's on me, baby. So anyway, the homie got shot about 2 weeks ago. He out there in Texas doing this thing. I like him. He's a young aspiring artist. He's doing this thing. He got shot, and 12 times actually he got shot, and he pulled through. He was on the internet talking his little thing. He back in the business and he's on his thing. So he's opened up for people like Beyonce and a whole bunch of people, and they love him, and I do too. I like what he has going on. Shout out to all the youngins out there just doing their thing. Stay out of trouble, young.
Right. Stay out of trouble.
Stay out of trouble. Duck that trouble because it'll mess your M's up. You get into the money, get the bag. Stay out of trouble. And so anyway, Mona Scott.
What's she doing?
Mona Scott Young, the reality show guru. I like her a lot, man. I don't really participate. What do you think about reality shows? I know you're not big on it.
I'm on the fence.
What you think, Donnie?
I live
They
in
entertain
Baltimore.
him.
It's one big reality shit.
Donnie said, hell, he see that every day. When he wake up and go outside.
It's entertainment.
So it is entertainment. She secured a bag with Lionsgate. Shout out to Lionsgate. I don't know that you're familiar, but they do a lot with Tyler Perry and a whole bunch of other producers. That's Will Packer. A lot of people. They help us, in particular, make our dreams come true on the film side. So shout out to them. But they partnered up with her, and she signed a development deal with a bunch of unscripted series and some scripted as well to be a part of that whole Lionsgate family. So shout out to Mona for going to get the bag once again.
Yeah.
And shout out once again to Lionsgate
Black
for
girl
being
magic.
a
That's
part
right.
of it. I like it. Don Lemon.
Ooh.
Don Lemon
I ain't
say,
heard
damn
him
it.
in the news in a while.
Yeah, Don Lemon made a statement that may cause him his job. I don't know. You guys, I'm going to ask you and you tell me what you think. Don Lemon was basically, I'll tell you what he said first. He said, white men, in particular, this is what he said. I'm quoting. White men are the biggest terrorist threat in the country. The reason he said it, and to his credit, I'm not going to clean it up too much, but I'm going to say to his credit, what he was speaking on was an incident, was racially charged, and it was an incident out last Wednesday where a white man allegedly shot and killed 2 black people outside of a Kroger supermarket.
Grocery, yeah.
And so they were talking about the incident, and then he was like, well, I don't know why he made the statement, but he was saying how black men and people in general have been terrorized by white men in this country for a long time. So I don't know if it's going to cost him his job, but right now they talking about it heavy, and the Republicans about to piss their pants. What you think, Donnie?
It's the truth.
Is the truth?
Ever since the European first came here, been terrorizing us, breaking up our families, raping our women.
Yeah, so it's not something that
killing
people
pregnant
say.
women, lynching people.
Yeah, well, so you have to own your truth.
Cowards.
You have to own it. Like,
it's a coward.
yeah, you have
Going
to.
after women.
You have to
lynching
own,
women.
Right.
so you have to own your situation and look at the situation. So it's time for America to take a real hard look at themselves and own some of the atrocities that's been put on. And so that's why we have a show today that's dedicated to Black Wall Street. How many people are familiar on Facebook? Let us know. Johnny Wilson is tuning. My Uncle Johnny is tuning. Shout out to
y'all
my
know about
uncle.
Black Wall Street on
Tanya
there?
Colbert, Betty Mary. What's going on, baby? Cheryl, sis tuned in. Let me know what y'all know about Black Wall Street, because we're going to talk about it today.
Black Wall Street?
And actually, the young man that's coming on as a guest
Yeah,
did
he
a
was in
show.
a play.
He was in a play based on Black Wall Street
Yep.
by the Jenkins brothers, who we really have a lot of respect for
Yep.
here. And shout out to Tressa Smallwood while we speaking on the Jenkins
Hey,
brothers.
Tressa.
Everybody that's in films. Excuse me. Everybody who's in films, we appreciate you guys for the hard grind. We actually went to see a film this weekend. So shout out to Randall Lawrence for the film that
Water
he
with
did.
a slice of lemon. Kudos
Excuse
to
me,
all
Water
of
with a
you.
slice of lemon.
Yeah, good job.
And we covered that event, and so that was another thing that was great. We love to see people out in the community doing things to make a difference. And so when you see your filmmakers producing films for us, it's a big deal, and it's a lot of work and preparation going to it. So salute to you. Moving on, Chris Brown, the homie agrees to pay a bigger child support settlement with his baby mother. What's her name?
I don't know. I know his daughter named Roy.
Her name is Nia Guzman, and he also agreed to buy her a home, and he's going to pay her about $20,000 a month. What you think?
I like that. That's fair.
$20,000 a month. That's fair, right?
That's fair. It's reasonable.
$20,000.
For
He's gonna get her a
for Chris
home.
Brown, yeah.
You know, you got a bunch of M's. $20,000 a month. That's kind of heavy, but hey, when you got the money, you got to pay it, right?
Yeah, he got it.
What happened when he don't have the money?
Hey,
Then
then that's
she-
a
then
whole
he
nother
get- then
story.
she get
Then they
less.
get a reduction. Then they do
That's
a
right.
reduction. Like once
Do
you
they?
not, well, they supposed to do.
No, they don't. No, it don't.
They
happen
supposed to
like
do a
that.
reduction,
It don't
Donnie.
happen like that. That 20 is set.
Set in
Quite
stone.
often.
So he would have to work it out.
And
He
so
need a
when his
good
money get
lawyer.
funny, if his money ever gets funny,
An
he would still have
adjustment go down.
to, that's not what they just up.
That's not in their vocabulary.
So that's it for the news, man. So we got to get ready to get out to Jeannie Jones out there on the West Coast. So coming up next, we have Jeannie Jones on the West Coast. Do we have her locked and loaded? Let's get out. We need our segment music.
We need our Jeannie music.
We need our Jeannie music. Jeannie Jones, Kitty of the City. Where are you, baby? I say meow.
You got to go, wow.
Well, you know, I ain't good at all that. That's
like
60 Seconds of Hollywood.
With Jeannie Jones.
That's not it.
Stand by, you all. Hey, everybody.
Kitty of the City. No. Jeannie
Jones.
Jones.
You want to get right into it? Okay, we're
going
to get right on into it.
So anyway,
60
Jeannie.
Seconds of Hollywood.
With Jeannie Jones.
Yes.
Yo, check this out. What's up, Spotlight fam? I'm going to tell you right now, breaking news finally got done. Bad Boys 3 is coming. The deal is done. Y'all know we've been talking about this forever, right? But our Landover homeboy, Martin Lawrence, I heard out here in LA, was like trying to make sure all his coins were as secure as Will Smith. So it's a done deal, baby.
It's a done deal.
Also, look, that's huge.
Yeah,
and then to come to find out that actress Katie Holmes is on set with this big old fat bling ring, right? Everybody's like, wait a minute, we know that her and Jamie Foxx, been on the low, and then it was okay, don't interview him, don't ask him anything about her, he's gonna walk off the set. But then she had the ring on the finger on set. She's filming the movie The Secret. They asked her reps and they were like, no, like real hush.
Right.
So all of a sudden the ring disappeared. We're watching you.
That's
okay.
Right.
Okay. So are we saying that it's an engagement that we don't know about?
We gotta watch.
Look. Everything else on the low, creep, but we watching. That's all.
We got our eyes on. We got our eyes.
Jamie Foxx and Katie Holmes. All right.
Also, you know what I'm saying? Also, gotta let you know that Michelle and Barack Obama secured the big old incredible deal with Netflix. Okay, worth millions of dollars, and everybody's like, what are they gonna do first? Well, production order is in. The first film is being produced. It's called The Fifth Risk. And if that sounds familiar, that's because it was recently a best-selling book. What is it about? Donald Trump's administration. Who you think's not going to be watching that? Okay?
Right.
So excited about that. Also, on the Netflix radar is girl power director Ava DuVernay. That is the girl power who did 13th Amendment, Selma. And now she is directing the documentary for Prince.
Yes. He got the Prince for that. And I heard they okay.
The family's behind it, and even so much undisclosed music is going to be a part of this. So look out for that.
I cannot wait. She did Queen
Sugar.
Have you ever seen that, Queen Sugar?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, she's done so much. And then actually, my relationship with Ava DuVernay started on air at KYS when she had like one of the top PR agencies out here in LA. All the clients used to call on my show in DC. So, I mean, we just go back. So I'm like beyond happy for her.
Love her.
And last but not least, y'all know the Forbes list for the highest paid TV actresses is out. Now check this. Number one actress is my little Latin hottie, Sofia Vergara, y'all know, on Modern Family.
Modern Family.
She rakes in $42.5 million for that show, okay?
Man,
42.5. So where we getting our scripts, Terry? Okay?
That's
right. I love
How about we do the Benning Road Modern Family, okay?
We
can make that happen.
Modern something, right? We need to get some of that bag, Jeannie.
Meow. And check this. Kerry Washington is the only black actress that popped up, and she came in at number 8, okay, grossing $11 million for her roles in Scandal, which ended last year. But yeah, she's the one. So you guys surprised me. She's the only one and coming in at number 8. I'm like, okay, can we get some more?
Yes.
But props
we're working
to
on it.
all the women that have made that list. But I'm like, okay, but shocked but not shocked. That's 60 Seconds of Hollywood. Jeannie Jones,
Kitty
Spotlight of the City.
Love you.
Love you, baby.
Love you.
Love y'all.
Be good.
All right.
60 Seconds with Jeannie Jones. We love it.
Yes.
She's always giving us some of that LA dish, letting us know what's happening on the West Coast.
I'm really excited about this documentary that Anna DuVerany is going to be directing
with
for
Prince. Yeah, that's cool that the family okayed it too. They was like, okay, so evidently she's going to keep it 1,000.
I'm looking forward to that.
That's going to be a big deal. So shout out to that whole movement. And Prince, you already know. The catalog. We want to know what's going on with the catalog.
Yeah.
What's going on with the Prince catalog?
Send me one quick Prince hook, babe.
Okay.
One. Just do me one.
Diamonds and Pearls?
Yeah, that. Anything.
Nah, we got coming. Them will be good. So anyway, Black Wall Street.
See?
Black Wall Street.
A real singer.
I was getting ready to bust it.
A real singer.
Hey, Jaylyn, what you think I should do it?
Bust him out.
Baby.
Yes. Yes, babe. Yes.
All right, enough of that. So anyway, for real, we have a real serious show today. I'm really excited about this show. I've done it before. We did a show when we first started over here at Listen Vision, Black Wall Street. Black Wall Street is something that's near and dear to my heart. I think that it's a movement that everyone should be aware of. No matter what your race is, you should be aware. But if you are black or brown, you should definitely be aware of Black Wall Street. And it's not something that just happened once. It's happened many times throughout different times in history. So we got the one and only Be More News himself in the building, Doni Glover. Now, this gentleman is an author. First of all, he has a book that I think is really hot.
Yes.
And this young man right here is really underrated. He's humble. Excuse me, he's humble, so he doesn't kind of give himself the accolades that he deserves. But when I tell you he deserves every bit of the accolades he gets, I call him the mayor of Baltimore, the governor and everything else, because he really puts a lot of effort into the community, and he really is hands-on with the community. He's involved with politics, and he heads on the politicians, and he takes on a lot of issues for us. And so today he's here because he is Black Wall Street Baltimore, and he's designated me to be Black Wall Street DC.
Yeah.
And so we're going to collab and start doing some things in the community and honor some men. And we're doing something in December. We was trying to do it in December, but we may have to push it to January. And we're going to honor some young men. We're going to speak on that a little bit, and we're going to talk about Black Wall Street. We're going to talk about it later on in the show because we have another guest coming up. But I want Doni to speak a little bit about what he's doing in Baltimore for the people and how he even got to become Mr. Black Wall Street himself.
Is that what I am?
Yeah. And some other stuff.
Well, we started with as the publisher of BeMoreNews.com. That's 16 years old. And considering that Baltimore is a one newspaper town, the Baltimore Sun, we need some other voices. We need somebody who's going to tell our story. We need someone who's going to paint us in a more accurate picture. When I turn on ABC, CBS, NBC, all I see is images of African Americans who got shot, who did the shooting, who got robbed, or if it is something positive, it's always this buffoonish softy on there supposed to be representing black people. So therefore, there's a need for Be More News, the Baltimore Afro, the Washington Afro, the Baltimore Times. There's a need for black media like your show.
Yeah.
Someone to accurately tell a story. And about, always we've, because it's the internet, we knew we had to do things in the community. We knew we had to do events in the community because when we started back in 2002, nobody was really talking about websites, let alone Facebook and social media to where it is today. So we would do these events, business networking events, because we have 5 different agenda items: black business, public education, ex-offender services, universal access to healthcare, and affordable housing. And ex-offender services is particularly important because while America is only 5% of the U.S. of the world population, we have 25% of the world's inmates. Wow. 44% are black men, and black women are the fastest growing demographic.
Wow.
We only 13% of the population, yet we're filling up the prisons. Something is fundamentally wrong. But going back to black business and the events, about 7 years ago, we started giving away these awards. We called them the Black Capital Awards initially. We had the first event up in Bus Boys and Poets. How far away is that?
Yeah, 14th and V.
Yeah.
Yeah, shout out.
And that, it was nice, but I was looking for that, and somewhere around there, I was learning about Black Wall Street.
Yeah.
First, the one in Tulsa, where on May 31st to June 1st, 1921, some 10,000 African. It was a scenario where they said a black guy raped a white girl.
Yeah.
And so it was exacerbated by the riots and the angry whites. But what was really going on is that black people in Tulsa were doing better than the white people in the surrounding areas.
By far, though, they were far exceeding them.
600 black businesses in the area of Greenwood. You remember the song Gap Band, You Dropped the Bomb on Me?
Yes.
You dropped the bomb on
That's
me.
what that was?
It was a real
Baby.
song.
Yeah.
A real
You
song
dropped the
about a
bomb.
real
Yep.
event. May 31st to June 1st, 1921, 10,000 African Americans were displaced. Over 300 were killed, and 600 black businesses were destroyed. Bombed from the air.
Bomb from the air. Military assistance.
Yeah.
And cops were led into these homes. The people who lived in Greenwood were traumatized by police officers that were assisting the white community and coming in and dismantling the community and stealing and burning down the homes. And so, but if we back up, a lot of people, I want you guys to make sure you do this. We can't probably educate you on one show.
Nope.
So what we want you to do is go on when we get off, when you get a chance, go to YouTube, right, and put in documentary. Just put in Black Wall Street documentary, and then you'll see other clips come up. It's only 45-minute clip, right? But it's also things like Black Wall Street, Durham, right? Durham was an earlier Black Wall Street. Before it was Tulsa, you had Durham, North Carolina, where you had all these businessmen that would come in and they would basically educate each other on how to become real strong business sense. And they would build businesses in the community, and the communities thrived. And so this became a big deal in different communities as well as Tulsa. So today we're trying to rebuild this fundamental principle. And the principle is just the coming together, not just by default, intentionally coming together, building businesses, putting money in different areas and arenas that we need to do it for the community, and building up strong community-based situations in different cities, not just D.C., not just Baltimore, all over. So we need to stop begging for opportunities and take opportunities. We need to start doing it.
We have the potential. You know how much money we have in annual disposable income?
A lot.
$1.4 trillion.
A lot.
Black women alone can shut it down just on where they buy their beauty products.
Yes.
Yeah.
You hear me?
So this is what we need to do. We need to educate us. We need to educate us on how to command the dollar, how to control the dollar, and where to put the dollar. Because how many people out here just listening to us now invest in a black bank, period? Who do you bank with?
Do you know what a black bank is?
Do you even know a black bank? And so, see, this is the problem that we have. And Industrial Bank is a bank that I'm familiar with.
This one here?
Yes.
In D.C.?
Most definitely.
In Atlanta, it's got Citizens. I know in Baltimore, it's Harbor Bank. But we need to know what a black bank is.
Yes, you do.
And we need to dismiss the excuses that people give us for not, who try to discourage us from putting money in the black bank. But I wanted to touch back on Oklahoma. Tulsa wasn't the only one.
So I tell you what, hold that thought. Let's go to the clip of the Tulsa. I've sent the clip in. I'm not gonna watch the whole thing. I think it's the longest one. It's about let's go to that clip and we'll be right back. Spotlight over the city.
Despite the success blacks have in creating their own community, Tulsa is still a white-dominated society.
White policemen could come into the community at any point and arrest anyone. Most of the wage earners in Black Tulsa had white bosses. So Black Tulsa, while it boomed and had a measure of independence, was also under the thumb of white Tulsa's political and police authorities.
Many African American communities in the United States were thriving in the 1910s and 20s. But the high level of home ownership in Greenwood made Tulsa's black district distinctive.
Now, for some white people, a black person with any wealth, then as well as today, is something that created jealousy.
Race relations in Tulsa were poor in the early 1900s. The KKK had an enormous presence in Oklahoma and in Tulsa particularly.
This era would see the racist roots of segregation boil over into numerous armed conflicts throughout the United States.
The Tulsa race riot of 1921, it really is set against a backdrop of a multitude of race riots in America. 1919 was known as Red Summer because literally blood was flowing in the streets. There were over 25 major race riots in 1919 in America.
These riots occur in Minnesota, Nebraska, Pennsylvania, and elsewhere throughout the country. The worst riot during the summer of 1919 is in Chicago, which leaves 38 people dead and 1,000 black families homeless.
The important thing to remember about race riots during this period is that they are characterized by whites invading black communities. These are not black communities that are erupting. These are white citizens, sometimes aided by the police, who are en masse invading black communities, attacking black businesses, and attacking black homes.
In 1921, the fires of racial intolerance spread to Tulsa. The person who serves as the spark for Tulsa's riot is Dick Rowland. A 19-year-old black man, Rowland dropped out of Booker T. Washington High School so he could earn some money shining shoes in downtown Tulsa.
While some kids stayed in high school and went ahead and graduated, there was also a great desire by many others to go out and make some money. And you could make money in Tulsa. Even a boot black could shine an oil man's shoes and might get a tip of $1 or $5. That was incredible money in 1920, 1921. So to drop out of school was not all that unusual.
He worked downtown, and during that era, the era of the riot, 1921, there was really only one restroom that was readily accessible to African Americans, and it was on an upper floor of a downtown building called the Drexel Building.
The elevator operator at the Drexel Building is a young white woman named Sarah Page.
On the morning of May 30th, 1921, as he often did, Dick Rowland went into the Drexel Building, got onto the elevator to go and use the restroom. But something happened on the elevator. I'm not exactly sure what did, but what probably happened is that as he stepped onto the elevator, he tripped and fell into Sarah Page.
To this day, no one knows for certain what happened when those elevator doors closed. But what is known is that shortly after entering the elevator, Dick Rowland was seen running out, leaving behind a screaming Sarah Page. Tuesday, May 31st.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Spotlight Over the City. We have another +1. Introduce our guest, this young man right here.
Man,
I'm super proud of this guy. This guy, I've been watching him do his thing for a while. He's the first time I saw him, he was in a play. Actually, it was around. It was centered around Black Wall Street. What was the name of it?
Black Boy Blues.
Black Boy Blues.
That's right. And what
and
did
it
you
was
play?
an amazing play by the Jenkins brothers, right?
Yep.
Shout out to the Jenkins brothers. They
Shout
doing
out to
something
Jimmy
right
and
now.
Josh,
Jimmy
man.
and yes,
Yeah.
doing amazing things. They actually came on the show before. They was part of Spotlight family, and so they're doing an amazing thing right now called Sinners One. And so shout out to them with that. That's one of the projects that they have coming up. And like I said, we support filmmakers in the whole nine. This young man right here is in a play now. I'll let him introduce himself and I'll let him talk about it a little more. But I'm just really proud of the craft. Like, I see his work ethic, right? I watched his first play that I saw, and I was like, dang. So I said, how long did it take you? And I think you said like a week or two. I said, you learned all this shit in like
in a week.
Okay. Me personally, it's gonna take me about 2-3 months to learn 2-3 lines. Like, I'm gonna be like, hey. And then I ended up ad-libbing. Every movie I was in, I ad-libbed because I couldn't remember my lines. So they let me ad-lib 2 different movies. They say, well, just say what you gonna say, Stan. But that's because I can't remember. This young man remembered line for line in a short period of time, but then he played it out. That's what I say. He played it out.
Yes.
So without further ado, Jaylyn, wifey, introduce our guest.
Okay, I'm not gonna say nephew because I don't want to mess up his brand and be like, hey, Pumpkin, hey, nephew.
Yeah, don't do that, babe.
Don't do that.
Keep it professional, babe. No
we
punking.
We have Jaylyn, Faith, Malonte, Neal in the building.
In the building. Give it up, give it up, give it up, give it up. Man, we appreciate you for coming on, bro. Yes. So of course you know the theme is Black Wall Street, and so you fit right in because you have been a part of the Black Wall Street movement when you did the play, and you're familiar. Exactly. So let's talk about this new play, right? So what's the name of this play, and how did you even get involved?
So the play is called Redemption of a Dog, starring Snoop Dogg, Tamar Braxton, Demetria McKinney, Omar Gooden, Eric Benet, myself, and many others.
Wow.
I got into the play, man. Honestly, I was having like a moment of a little testimony, actually.
Mm-hmm.
I hadn't worked since June of 2018, and my last big audition was for an Under Armour commercial in July. And like early July, and I kind of like had like a little moment as an actor where I was like, man, I haven't worked in a while, whatever. So I kind of went back home for maybe like a month or so.
Now home, where's home?
Home is here, DMV, baby. You know how we do it. You know how we do it. Born in DC, raised in Maryland.
Got you. So you came back home.
So yeah, man, I came back home. Made some quick money working with my dad's company or whatever the case may be, and I was able to stack up enough money to fend for myself for a little while.
Right.
I returned back to LA, and when I got there, I still was kind of in my funk a little bit because the project that I was doing, I hadn't done a project where I was working behind the scenes in a while.
Mm-hmm.
I had been doing a lot of consecutive work in front of the camera, but I do both. However, I went back for a project where I was working behind the scenes, and I was like, dang, man, I really want to be on the camera right now. Like that's what I love. That's my passion. That's what I do. So long story short, one of my friends had invited me to a play. And at first I was kind of like, I didn't really want to go because I kind of wanted to focus more on my own craft.
Right.
But, a part of your craft is also studying.
Right.
And I had to take myself out of it and sit back and say, I'm going to go support one of my friends. For one, I'm also enjoy theater what I fell in love with in the first place. Just being able to sit back, watch, and say, like, dang, this is amazing. This impacted me in a certain way. And this is why I do it. So to go support somebody else doing it, man, and I ended up just supporting them. And next thing you know, I got there and I ran into a stage manager that I worked with in the past on a play called Bound and Gagged. And that was a play that was at the Hudson Theater in LA. And long story short, when I ran into her, typically, people say one thing about acting isn't hard, but being an actor is hard. Right, and that's a quote that I live by.
Thought about it that way.
Yeah, because you act every day.
Right.
I mean, if you think about it, everybody in the world is an actor, essentially.
You act like you like your haters.
You walk around, you looking like this.
You act like you want to go that whack ass job you go to every day, and you can't stand waking up. You be beefing at 5:30.
Exactly.
Act like you ain't mad at your husband when you are.
Act like you like your supervisor.
What's wrong with you, baby? Look, I know y'all done had this moment. He coming out. I'm sick of this shit. What's wrong with you, baby? Oh, nothing.
Nothing.
Fine. I'm having a good time. You acting right then and there. So
she good at it too. Damn Emmy.
Yeah, man. So long story short, I ran into her. We connected. She asked me how I was doing. And normally, when I'm in the public eye, I keep my guard up. I'm fine. I'm having a good time. I have a really energetic spirit. And but this particular time, I just opened up to her and I told her, I was like, honestly, right now, I can't complain because I'm still blessed. I'm in a great place.
Right.
But I'm looking for work right now. It's one of those moments where I've been out of work for 2 months right now.
Right.
And I'm not really feeling it. And I'm just looking and praying. I've been praying and praying and praying for the next blessing and this, that, and the third. Whatever. So long story short, she says to me, well, it's funny that you said that because I actually was looking to get your contact information from the director from the play that I did called Bound and Gagged back in 2017.
Mm-hmm.
She said I was getting ready to ask her for your information because there's a role in this play called Redemption of a Dog, and I know that you are perfect for that role. As soon as we figured out that it was cast and open and available for it, she said you're the first person that came to mind. And ironically, I run into her at this play.
Look at God.
Next thing you know, man, I'm
not a coincidence.
Not a coincidence.
What's the lesson?
The lesson is a blessing in disguise.
Yeah.
I mean, it's more lessons than that, but yeah, man. I was about to say, patience.
Perseverance.
Being at the right place at the right time with the right people for the right purpose.
Don't give up.
And knowing that it's no such thing as coincidence, young man. It's all God is the plug.
Yeah, man.
So it's no coincidence that this young lady showed up at the time that she did. It's supposed to happen that way. You just got to know that.
Yes,
you just got to be familiar. So I salute you for that. And it does take perseverance to go back. See, some people will stay home.
Mm-hmm.
Some people come home and be like, man, it didn't work.
Oh, yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. I'm just going to go get a job. And blah. And it's not wrong with having a job. Don't get me wrong. But if your dream is to be an actor, that's what the hell you're supposed to be.
Yeah.
That's right.
Exactly. You're not supposed to go get a
it.
job. You're supposed to go, unless that job is to maintain you while you acting.
Right.
You're not supposed to ever give up. So I salute you for that. And
Yeah.
don't ever give up. I don't care if it starts looking funny after this project or whatever the case is, because you have that it thing. It takes a certain somebody to be an actor, right, or an actress. And you have to have that it. Like, it's just a certain, you can't teach it. It's just
And
something
you
that you have to have.
Thank you.
And you have it.
Yourself?
I do.
Yeah.
I actually have 2 short films that I produced. One of them is called Pro Choice. The other one is called Heartbeat. Both drawn off inspiration of things that I've gone through in my actual life.
Pro-choice.
Yeah.
What's that about?
So Pro Choice was a film that I did in reference to, being able to have the right to choose, and you can't really
choose what? Democrat, Republican?
Yeah.
You're a politician.
Rather,
white girl, we talking about.
choosing rather, you're gonna have a kid or not gonna have a kid.
Pro-choice then.
That
Pro-choice,
situation.
Okay.
If you all don't know, I have a 6-year-old. Her name is Dylan Hart Neal. I love her to death. That's my baby
your
girl.
twin.
Oh man, she stole my face.
Yes, she
God,
did.
God was lazy. He got the phone call that the
yep.
baby was on the way. He said, you know what? I ain't got time for this. I got a lot of prayers to answer.
Yep.
Copy, paste. That's what he did.
That's what he did.
And that's her.
Just like
Yes,
that.
it is.
Yeah, he did it
Yes.
just like that. But yeah, man. So that's a older project. I could go deep in the details about it.
Pro-choice.
But yeah,
Pro-choice.
Before you get off of Redemption of a Dog, I want to know what character you play, because Stan and I are coming to see you, of course.
Yes.
We coming to the Sunday show when you're here.
All right.
And
I
I'm
appreciate
super,
the love.
super excited. So we're gonna be front and center. Well, not front,
Yeah, you
but we're gonna
already
be
know.
center. We're gonna
We
be in
won't
the
be
building.
close from the damn
It's
front.
funny,
though.
it's funny
That's
that
for
you
sure.
asked what role, because the role. So that when she told me, she ended up telling me that it's an audition. I went to the audition. The role that I was auditioning for was Blood Benny, right? He's a thug character, whatever case may be, who confronts Snoop at a pivotal moment in his career. My character and the other character who's playing it with me, it's 2 of us. We kind of change a pivotal moment in Snoop's life that you'll see in the play. I don't want to tell too much. You got to see it. And you got to see it.
Yes.
But I went and auditioned for that role. I auditioned for it. They called me back, and when they called me back, I was looking to see like if I was going to have somebody else to compete against, a few other people to compete against. And then that day, I did another run through of my particular scene that I was auditioning for, and then they called me back that next day and told me that I had the role. They wanted me to come back. They sent me the script, wanted me to come back for the rest of the week, and I was proud to have that role. So that's what I got casted for, is Blood Benny, the thug guy,
Benny,
right?
The thug guy.
Next thing you know, when I got in rehearsal, I guess they got Jakarius Johnson and the crew got a whiff of my talent.
Your talent, yeah.
And they say, well, we got a few other roles for you.
And look at God.
So then I became the nigga who play everything.
Yes, I love it.
I'm playing Blood Benny. I'm also a choir boy in the play. I'm a DJ for Ray Boogie in the play. I'm security for Snoop
So
in the
you
play.
literally play everything.
I'm the nigga who play everything. Literally.
I love it.
Hey, so you know what though?
And I'm dancing in the play.
You are?
Yeah.
But
babe, you haven't
bust a
seen.
good
Wait
move.
till you see him dance though, for real. Like
he can dance.
I can do a little
He can
something.
dance better than me.
what?
And you know I light it up now. You
Babe,
sure?
He gonna
We
make you
gonna have to
look
have a
like
dance
you
all day.
85.
I don't know about that, Jay. Hey, so look, this the thing though. I want you to bust tail. I want you to go on here and I want you to give it everything you got and borrow something from somebody when you get here, right? Because it's gonna be some people in the audience at some of these plays and even behind production that's watching you.
Yep.
They not gonna tell you though,
Right.
but they gonna project you to another level. This is just intro. Make sure you play it just like that. And remember to come back on and tell me about what God did for you, because I told you what's going to happen. So I just told you what's going to
I got
happen.
a question for you.
That's what's going to happen to you.
Existence.
Yeah.
What's your give back?
My gift back?
Yeah, you know we always got to pay it forward. You always got to pay it
That's a
forward.
good question.
Have you mapped it out yet?
Well, I have mapped it out. It's something that it's currently in the works. It's not set in stone right now because it takes some financial, but I still can do volunteer, which I do.
Who's gonna be the next you?
That's a great question.
But when you see him, identify him,
You have to
and make
approach
sure you don't let him
someone.
slip out through the cracks because
Yep.
I won't, and that's what I was getting ready to say. I definitely take time to go and volunteer at different schools, and just pretty much give back in the aspect of giving my gift to somebody else. So the gems that I get from people who look out for me, in particular, let's just use this tour in particular. Omar Gooden had took a close liking to me, and we kind of, became real close throughout this play, and rehearsing and stuff like that. And he's given me a lot of great gems that I have given back to people who are acting on my level, not even below or like younger or anything like that. On my exact level, I'm giving them the same advice that he was giving me. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, like you said, you got to pay it forward. I love it. Exactly. And to talk about what I look forward in the future to doing. I want to have open up my own performing arts school at some point in my career, and I want it to be all I literally want it to be all forms of art, like literally like acting, filming. Oh yeah, you already know.
Yeah, that's a big deal. Keep that in front of you. Keep that in front of you. Always keep it in front. Where can they find you? On social media, and let us know what your next part. We already know the next thing is the play.
All social media platforms is Faith_Malonte.
Okay,
Faith, y'all got that? Faith.
So while we talking about it, we're gonna go to his clip as our commercial. I sent you a clip. Okay, we'll be right back. Spotlight over the city. Let's check this young man out.
I got it. I saw it in a movie once. We tie her up, gag her, hire a scaffolding, take her up to the roof. Leave her there. File a police report. Say, yeah, we never saw her. Okay? We gotta do this right. It's beauty in the details, people. Come on. Have you ever watched someone die? Watching her suffer just kills a bit of me every day. And the worst part about it is that I can't help but to remember all the plans that we made. I still fucking with me if you don't like me dead. I fucking love you. Give me the money right now, man. I ain't got time to be wasting. Let's go.
Okay.
Hurry up.
Welcome back to Spotlight over the City. I effing love you.
Yes.
Audience, you see how passionate I was when I said I effing. You see the face, you gotta get into it. Yeah, you gotta own it.
Do it one more time.
I effing love you.
Yes. Y'all stay tuned because
I'm
gonna tell y'all how it go tonight.
You gotta get this. You gotta sweat. You gotta like be.
He the next thing right there.
You seen that?
I seen that.
You seen the passion on my
Yes, babe.
Yes. Hey, so anyway,
You've created a monster.
What's the next cities you all got coming up? And
the next city is Norfolk, Virginia. Then we come home to DC. Warner Theater. Shout out.
Warner
Theater. What's the dates? What's the home dates for the home team?
November 9th through the 11th.
The 9th through the 11th.
Shows. We got an 8 p.m. show Friday, 3 and 8 on Saturday, and then 3:30 and 7:30 Sunday.
We'll be there on Sunday.
So when someone's given 5 shows coming through the door, they already confident that it's gonna sell. So now where can they get tickets?
We did 7 last week. I'm so tired.
That's what's up. Where they get tickets?
www.jacarius.com, or you can also get them from Ticketmaster.
Ticketmaster as well. So make sure you guys check this young man out, and we'll definitely be in the building to support you guys.
Please.
So on to Black Wall Street, Donnie. I can't let you off the hook, brother. You got to drop some jewels on us. You got to let us know that movement.
We only scratched the surface.
Yeah, we don't have. It take our words to talk about Black Wall Street.
You had mentioned Durham.
There
was an anchor institution in Durham. Do you know what it is? Largest, oldest black life insurance company in America.
I sent the clip. We'll be right back. Let's talk about it. Spotlight.
Okay, then.
The Durham clip. It says Durham, North Carolina.
Tonight we're going to report a story that's almost 80 years old, but it will come as news to most Americans as, frankly, it did to us. This country's most violent race riot didn't happen in Newark or Watts or Detroit. It happened in Tulsa, Oklahoma in June of 1921. For decades, city officials covered it up. The history books barely mentioned it, and people, white people that is, hardly ever talked about Tulsa burning. But all that's changing now. The state commission has begun investigating the riot, and is already raising tough questions about what today's citizens owe yesterday's victims. And it's revived memories for George Monroe of a night 78 years ago when his mother saw 4 white men walking up to their house carrying torches.
Our mother told us to get up under the bed, and we got up under the bed. We could just see just their feet. They came in and set fire to the curtains, and one stepped on my fingers, and my sister put her hand over my mouth to be sure to stop me, because she could tell I was fixing to holler because it hurt.
Monroe escaped with some sore fingers. His home and the rest of Tulsa's black neighborhood, called Greenwood, was burning. Before the riot, 10,000 blacks lived in Greenwood, did business there, prospered there. In fact, Greenwood was one of the nation's most vibrant black communities. But children quickly learned that they lived in a different world from whites.
The tracks was a dividing line. Now, every Sunday, we would climb on top of the coal car and throw enough coal on the side of, on our side, and I guess they did the same thing, but every Sunday we had a good coal fight. We would throw at them and they would throw at us.
Like a kid's little riot?
That's a good description of it, like a kid's riot.
Yes, Spotlight Over the City, we are back. So that wasn't the right clip, but at the same time, that was kind of important. I wanted to kind of show you guys what was kind of going on, the temperature, the whole gist of it, in case you haven't even been familiar with Black Wall Street. But let's talk a little bit about Durham, though, Donnie, in particular. You were speaking on Durham.
Let me just say this. Wherever we were in this country, we couldn't shop with white people.
No.
So we had to have our own stores. Did you see the movie Rosewood?
Yeah, by default.
They had their own stores.
By default.
In Durham, the anchor institution, to answer the question, was North Carolina Mutual Life Insurance Company.
Had a big old building.
You've been to Virginia. There's every woman should know this. The first woman bank president, the first woman to found a bank in the United States, Maggie Walker.
Maggie Walker.
Happened down in Jackson Ward in Richmond. Everywhere black people were. New Yorkers. I love to get to New Yorkers. In Brooklyn, there's a community called Weeksville in between Bed-Stuy and Crown Heights. Independent black community. You been to Central Park?
Yes.
In order to build Central Park, they knocked down Seneca Village. Guess who lived there?
Oh.
Black people. Around 83rd, 84th, 85th Street, Central Park West. Wherever we were in this country, we had to have our own business areas. And here's another thing. Since we're going into history, a lot of people have the misconception that African Americans first came to this country in the bottom of a damn slave ship. Nothing could be further from the truth. We got to dig past the bull of Christopher Columbus, who was lost. It should be Christopher Colum lost.
Columbo. I like that. Columbo.
We've been here thousands of years. Look up Luzia, L-U-Z-I-A in Brazil. Oldest bones found in the Americas, Brazil. And matter of fact, the African was the first on every continent. Asia.
Every continent.
Europe.
Every continent.
The first Europeans were African.
Including the Greeks.
Look it up.
So I understand this history, but a lot of us listening don't. So what I'm trying to do now is educate us and bring us back to
Stop reading other people's history books
Yeah.
and go read Dr. Ivan Van Sertima, Chancellor Williams, Dr. Ben Yakinen.
Give it to them.
Franz Fanon.
They don't
Paulo
know what to
Freire.
read. Got to give it to them. And so this
I
is
went
what
to
this
Morgan
platform is
State.
for.
There was some seniors. I was talking to some seniors, and they had never read the autobiography of Malcolm X. Get your head out your damn phone
Marcus
and read a
Garvey.
damn
Know
book.
who Marcus Garvey is. Know
Marcus
who,
Messiah
it's a
Garvey.
lot. It's a lot of people. I remember watching a young man, and he put up 3 figures. It was Jesus the Christ. It was Marcus Garvey, Messiah Garvey, and it was also Malcolm X. And he was asking who was the most prominent figure, and of course Christ was the most prominent figure. And they had a white Christ. We won't get into that. But what I will say is,
Megan Kelly
but
said
we
it
not-
last week.
But the problem is,
she confused. Santa Claus is black. I can show you. Look up. He's in Turkey. 300 around 300 A.D. Santa Claus, Saint Nicholas, black man, and Jesus Christ. Everybody know the oldest picture of Jesus is black. I mean,
well, we know he's from the tribe of Judah. He's from Negro land, which is Judah. So these are Israel. This is the Israelite. Yeah, he's from the line of Shem. So that's the same line that Abraham was from. This is the Hebrew nation, Shem, the Shemites. So if you without getting too heavy, because I could get real heavy on here, but we don't have the time.
Yes, he will, y'all.
This is my lane right here. I'm into
Yes,
it. But
it
the
is.
problem I'm having is the slight education that we don't have. The fact that I can mention Black Wall Street and my black brothers and brown brothers and sisters don't even have a clue what it is the problem. So we have to get the education down. Do not leave here without getting on YouTube tonight or whatever you get a chance and just look on there. You don't have to do nothing but just put in Black Wall Street documentary, and it's going to be a whole bunch of stuff to feed your mind. So the Bible clearly tells you that we are people who will perish for lack of knowledge. We don't have knowledge of our own self. We don't have knowledge or understanding of who we are. So if you don't know who you are, you don't know who you belong to. So that's the problem. We have to go back to root. We have to get to the root. So Spotlight Over the City is the platform that God has given me to use to do just what we're doing. And so we on the gas. Black Wall Street.
You're bringing it to Baltimore November 8th next
Of course. November 8th. November 8th. Give them the dates and stuff. We got to get out of here.
Thursday,
We run into
November
tonight's show.
8th, National Black Wall Street Summit, Greater Baltimore Urban League. Keynote speakers, Kwesi Mfume, former congressman, former CEO of the NAACP. We also have a special guest coming in from Chicago, Richard Muhammad, editor-in-chief. Y'all didn't catch that? Editor-in-chief. I can blow this thing up.
Yeah, go blow it up.
I try not to take over your show.
You got to go hard on here.
And we on WOLB every Wednesday, 10 a.m. Been on there for 19 years.
Where we at? Where we at?
Again.
WOLB 1010 a.m. where information is power. Also on the book, Doni, Glover, about 170K. Yes, sir.
170,000 viewers. Also, please understand that it's at Be More News. At Be More News. Make sure you follow this young man. Give out your information, young man. Let him know what you got.
Faith_Malonte. Follow me on all platforms, social media platforms. That's what it is.
And that's what it do. This young man is amazing. He's going to do some amazing things.
Yes,
Donnie,
is,
we thank you for coming. We're going to have you back, my brother.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for tuning in to Spotlight Over the City. The whole family, Listen Vision, WLVS, everybody from all over the place. We appreciate you guys tuning in to Spotlight Over the City each and every week. We got to get on out of here, but before we go, always remember, love hard, live good, God first. Spotlight Over the City.
Yeah. Woo!
I put the spotlight on your city.